Welcome back. Leaders across the Defense Department list computing and data analytics at the tactical edge as one of the biggest problems they need to solve. Hangsang Bae is Public Sector Chief Technology Officer at Zscaler. At TechNet Augusta, he tells me data at the edge requires new architecture and new thinking.
The first instinct is to what we've always done, which is get a network out there, get a circuit, get a router, configure it. And that's not going to work anymore because the contingencies change. It's temporal in nature. So by the time you get a circuit out there, it could be over, done with, or somewhere else is the hotspot. So the idea that we can fight a war, and by the way, Napoleon said, you know, the army travels on its stomach, right? Mm-hmm. So in the army, it's always been beans and bullets. Everybody understands beans and bullets, but now it's beans, bullets, and bytes. Bytes is just as important as the beans and bullets. So how do we be agile with that information so that the commanders on the ground, down to the platoon squad level, can get that information? So my proposal would be that the network use any and all network, even adversaries network. Because in a true zero trust scenario, it's just transport. You don't need a bespoke circuit, mil-spec as they say anymore. Starshield, Starlink, 5G, Starbucks, local deli, local PC rooms, whatever you can get your hands on, it'll be protected, and so use it. And I think that is a fundamental mind shift and transformation that the department finds hard to do.
Why is the department finding that hard to do, and what do you think would facilitate that?
So that is the Newton's first law. Yeah. Object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an external force. I've been building SIPR, I've been building NIPR, I have my network, I feel good about my network, I have my routers, my configuration, my firewalls. So there's a sense of confidence and comfort in doing what, and you know, truth be told, don't break it if it don't, you know, or don't fix it if it ain't broke, right? And what I'm saying is, even though you can get a circuit out there, even though you can get routers and configure all of that to a router jockey, that's easy to do, but it takes time. And in a contingency, a modern contingency, that's the one commodity you don't have is time. So instead of building networks, deploying networks, start deploying zero trust and make it easy on yourself with a transport. Now, I'm not saying the network is not important. It is, but it's like breathing. When we woke up this morning, we didn't think about breathing. We just do it, right? So it's important. But just like, you know, if we stop breathing, in 90 seconds, we're dead. So I'm not saying network is not important. I'm just saying it's a tool, it's transport, it's commodity. Use it however and whenever without having to deploy a bespoke network.
You talk about speed, and so does every uniformed person that's been with me this week so far. What continues to drive the speed that they want? Your point is correct. They don't have time for deployment, a lot of fooling around. What narrows the time frames that these folks?
Yeah, so I think it's less dependence on equipment for communication. I'm not talking about tactical gear. So imagine if you could just go walk into a store, buy any local 5G, throw it in there, and know that it's secure, right? And you're hiding in plain sight. Those are now a possibility. It's doable. Technology has finally caught up. So now our mindset has to shift to catch up with technology.
I see. You also talked about the computing at the edge and data at the edge. And another concept that pretty much everybody in uniform that I talk to is discussing is expecting that environment will be contested on some level. What's the implication of that for all of the things that you're talking about?
So having local presence, the data local presence, and having the local communication is absolutely critical. One of the things that I think vendors think about is they don't understand what contested means, but also it's the mission dependent. So think about a mission where you communicate, you move, you shoot, and then you communicate. During that time, in the beginning you communicate because they don't know you're there. At the end you're communicating because it's over and done with. But in that middle, you cannot have something that the data is not local. It has to reside with the rifleman. It has to reside with the platoon leader, the platoon sergeant, company commander. So that data should be saturated and populated before the mission. be with the soldiers, and then afterwards, as fast as possible, exfil that data out so that the commanders can have common operating picture.
The other advantage that it sounds like the concept that you're discussing would give the services is the next biggest challenge, I guess, that people talk to me about is the challenge of edge to edge data exchange rather than edge to base out to the edge again.
That's right.
And it sounds like that would
Absolutely.
be a
So
solution there.
when we talk about zero trust solutions, it's exactly that, right? Headquarters to soldier and or hub and spoke, as we like to say. But a true zero trust solution follows the soldier and the data, and anything and everything in between is immaterial, right? So in that world, then you're protected. Me talking to you, me talking to the squad leader, the team leader, the company commander, and above. So it's independent of the location, it's independent of the device, and it's certainly independent of the network.
You can read more about edge computing and edge data on today's show page at fedgovtoday.com.